Hey guys, how are you all doing today? Tom Binns here, and today I want to talk to you about deadlifts, why I think every single one of you should be doing deadlifts if you aren't already, and most importantly, how to do it safely. Now, as soon as you're watching this video, I'm assuming that most of you are already doing some sort of training, or generally looking to improve your health and fitness. So no matter what your goal is, the deadlift is the king of all exercises, and it's going to take your performance from currently where you're at to the next level in athletic performance. So let's look at a few different ways that the deadlift can help you achieve your fitness goals. If your goal is to burn fat or to lose weight in general, then the deadlift is the king of all exercises. Losing weight is simple. You've got to expend more energy than you're currently consuming. And if we take two examples, like a spin class, which is what a lot of people do to lose weight, compared to a high intensity deadlift session, due to your body being under constant heavy load, it's gonna be harder for you to burn as many calories doing the spinning session as it is doing the deadlift session. So you're going to expend more energy doing the deadlift session, therefore you'll be burning more calories, losing more weight. I've linked a study below comparing high intensity training with regular cardiovascular training as well, so please do check that out. You may learn something from that. Let's say your goal is to build muscle or just to increase your strength, then deadlifting, like squatting and benching, is going to be the bread and butter of that. Say right now that you can lift 100 pounds for 10 reps in one working set, and then you do a 10-week program. By the end you can lift 200 pounds for 10 reps. Then of course your body's going to have to adapt to that. It's going to have to grow with the right nutrition, or it's going to get leaner if you're in a calorie deficit. Now, a lot of you watching this may currently play a sport, be that football, rugby, golf, cricket, or maybe even running, for example. So if we look at the example of running, it's important in a long distance race to be able to change speeds up and down as you please. I like to think of it as driving a car, being able to change gear in that car. And it's a proven fact that deadlifts improve speed. In one of the studies that I've linked below is a group of footballers that went through a 10-week deadlift cycle, and by the end of that 10 weeks they improved their 40-meter sprint times and their vertical jump distances, which is only going to benefit you playing a sport. Now, here's the big one. This is the question I get asked a lot by people. If I've got a bad back, if I've got a back injury, should I be deadlifting? Should I be lifting weights altogether? And the honest answer is 100% yes. Doing deadlifts or any sort of strength training program is going to improve the blood flow into that muscle group, which is going to speed up that recovery and then strengthen your back so that in the future you're not going to get injured doing that again. Obviously this is done when you're deadlifting safely, not with a big arch back like you've seen a lot of people do on those gym fail videos. The study below compared a group of people that did deadlifts and that didn't do a deadlift program with a back injury, and the people that did do the deadlift program, they recovered a lot faster from that injury, and throughout that injury their pain threshold increased, so they felt less pain during the injury. So now you all know why you should be deadlifting and how it's going to increase your performance. But most importantly, like anything, you've got to do it safely or you're putting yourself under risk of being getting injured. So now we're going to go through the best warm-up for doing the deadlift, go through a deadlift progression training session, and then the best assistance exercises that have helped me get my deadlift from where it was 5-6 years ago to where it is today. So the first exercise for the warm-up is the single leg Romanian deadlift into a forward lunge with external rotation of the hip. This really helps to open up the hips and to align the posterior chain. Doing a couple of reps each side of these just to warm up. If you find it hard to balance, then hold on to something like a squat rack or a bench to begin with. So from the front here you'll be able to see a bit better of the external rotation. So focusing on the balance coming back and then stepping through and then pushing that knee out to the side really helps with stacking the hips. The second exercise for the warm-up for the deadlifts is to do some box jumps. I'll typically do a set of 5 because this is hands down the best way to learn the deadlift, because if we slow it down here you can see the hips hinge exactly in the same way as they would within the deadlift. Only difference being you haven't got a bar in your hand. So I'll do a set of 5 of these just to prime the central nervous system and get that muscle memory going for the actual working sets. Now, before going into any working sets on the deadlifts, I'll just want to open out the hips a little bit more. So I'll go into a sumo stance, and at the bottom all I'll do is just lean back. Simply lean back and the bar will rise up off the floor due to your body weight. And all I'm trying to do here is push my hips through the bar just to open up the hips and extend the range of motion in a deadlift. So when you approach the bar, you want to have your feet shoulder width apart as if you're going to do the box jump again. You want to reach down, putting your hands just to the side of your legs. So from here we're going to shoot up with our hips and get a big belly of breath. Then we're going to pull our lats down, lean back, and the weight will automatically come straight up. You want to imagine as if you're pulling backwards as well. So once again, we'll hinge from the hips come up so we can breathe, hips down, tighten the lats and drive backwards. So we programmed today's session to be pulling off blocks, working up to a top set of a triple, hoping to get around the 175, 180 kilogram mark for myself. We have a lot of tall guys training down at the unit, like myself being 6'3", so we tend to pull off blocks very often in our programs because the limiting factors tend to be the speed off the floor, which is often due to the strength in the upper back. So overloading this off blocks really helps to improve that sticking point. And the band that you can see me using here, if you've never tried it before, give it a go and comment below, let me know what you think. It really helps you in your warm-up sets to practice driving back against the weight. And this is what it all leads up to. So this is today's top working set. So moving on to some assistance exercises that we did in this deadlift session. We're doing some farmer's walks here. I'm currently getting some farmer's walk handles made, so in the meantime we're using the barbell for two reasons mainly. The first reason is to build the core strength of your abs and your glutes and your lower back. Without these being stable, then you simply can't deadlift. This has been the single most biggest change in my deadlift progression recently, is adding in stuff like this at the end of the workout. It really teaches you how to use your core and how to stabilize your whole body with your glutes, especially for tall guys. It can be a big limiting factor, and that's why you'll see a lot of people's hips shoot up in the deadlift. So definitely add these into your exercise. And the second reason is it's simply hands down the best trap building exercise I've ever done. If you imagine doing shrugs standing, what we're actually doing here is our traps are going up and down constantly as our legs are moving forward. So having to battle through the pain of your traps intensely burning has really helped develop my upper back and my traps.
Can't hear that sound, you're nearly there.
Yep. Ah.
Push it through, push it through.
So the second assistance exercise that we went on to was to then do some pull-ups. This really builds up the strength and size in your lats, which helps to stabilize your spine and keep it neutral throughout the deadlift. And finally went on to do some rows. So mix it up a little bit, use the rope and the log to do these. You want to keep a pretty neutral spine as if you're in the deadlift position, and just focus on driving those elbows behind you. Worked up to, I think, a top set here of 20 reps, just to get some volume into the back. And that brings today's session to a close. Thank you again, guys, so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. So please give it a like, give it a comment, share it with all your friends, but most importantly, Go out and do one thing every single day that scares you. Until next time, have a good week.